We live in a world where it feels like every single moment has to be captured and shared, right? Well, today, we're going to explore the exact opposite, the powerful and very deliberate choice to just stay silent. Let's get into the hidden psychology behind what we don't post. Okay, let's just start with this idea because it's a really interesting one. We usually think of someone being quiet online as, a sign of withdrawal or maybe insecurity. But what if it's actually the ultimate power move? What if it's about taking back the remote control for your own life story? So, yeah, this is the big question, isn't it? If it's not about being shy, then what is really going on in the minds of the, let's call them, the silent majority online? This really challenges a lot of what we assume about how people behave online, so let's unpack it. All right, so first things first, we have to talk about the common myths. We jump to all sorts of conclusions about people who don't broadcast their entire lives. And spoiler alert, those conclusions are usually just plain wrong. Yeah, we totally do this, right? We slap these negative labels on people who don't post. We see their digital silence not as a choice, but as a lack of something, a lack of confidence, a lack of friends, or maybe a lack of exciting stuff to do. And man, the pressure that creates, it's huge. It builds this whole culture where sharing is the default, and keeping things to yourself, well, that's the weird guarded exception. It basically says that an experience only counts once it's been seen and liked by everybody else. Okay, so that's the common way of thinking, but what if that whole way of looking at it is just wrong? Let's make a hard pivot here to a completely different and frankly, much more empowering way to see the so-called silent user. This is where we totally flip the script. See, what we mistake for shyness, that's actually control. What looks like insecurity from the outside is really self-preservation. And that assumption of a boring life, well, that completely misses this crucial concept, psychological ownership. And that right there, that's the big mental shift we need to make. It's not about hiding, it's about curating. It's about you being the sole editor and the director of your own life's movie, deciding which scenes get released to the public and which ones, well, which ones are just for you. So, this idea of control, what's really driving it? Well, it all boils down to this really powerful concept known as psychological ownership. I mean, we've all felt this, right? It's that gut feeling that some things are just yours. It's why a handwritten family recipe feels so much more special than one you just find online. Or why an inside joke with your friends is a million times funnier than one a comedian tells. These things are part of us, and we instinctively want to protect them. You know what it's like? It's like when you discover an amazing new song, and for a little while, it's your song. It's your little secret, it feels personal. But then, suddenly it's in a car commercial, it's playing everywhere, and it just loses some of that intimate magic. That connection to you feels a little weaker. And it's the exact same thing with our memories. The moment you post that perfect sunset or that amazing personal win, it gets run through this filter of likes, comments, algorithms. The memory kind of stops being just yours. It becomes public property, and its meaning can start to change in subtle ways. And this all leads to the main goal here, the big reason for staying quiet. It's all about creating a sort of sacred, protected space for your own experiences. Because when you don't share them, you keep them pure. They stay free from public judgment or that constant need for validation. They just remain yours, and only yours. The value of these moments isn't about racking up likes or engagement. The value is baked right into the moment itself. These private moments are lived for the experience, not for the performance of it. You're the participant, not the performer. And believe me, there is a huge difference. And in the end, that's what it's all about. Keeping something private preserves its personal power. It keeps it authentic, it keeps it untouchable. Okay, so let's tie all this together. What does this all mean for how we handle our digital lives? What's the bottom line? Look, the bottom line is this. Online, we spend so much time talking about what to share. But maybe, just maybe, the more powerful decision is figuring out what not to share. That deliberate act of silence, that's where we can find real, genuine ownership over our own lives. So I'll just leave you with this question to think about. Seriously, what experience do you have that's so valuable you would never, ever post it? What are your untouchable memories? And why does protecting them feel so important? That's a powerful thought to take with you.